All right, go ahead and start your bell work. I'll give you a couple minutes to get it done, and then we'll go over it. Remember, when you're simplifying, you're distributing and then you're combining your like terms on number 1. And then on number 2 and 3, those are your exponent rules. So think about your exponent rules and how you would multiply and how you would give that power to everything. All right, just got a minute and a half left. Finish up your bell work. All right, that's time. On number 1, distribute. Negative 3 times x, that's negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative 2, that's positive 6. And then you've got some like terms, so that's going to be negative 3x, 6 plus 4, that's 10. So negative 3x plus 10. On that second one, that's multiplying same base. So I'm going to add the exponents, but I do the operation on the number, use rules on exponents. So 5 times 3, that's 15. X squared times x squared, 2 plus 2 is x to the 4th. And then on that third one, this is a product to a power, so I give that power to each term. This is a number, so rules don't apply, so 3 squared. Power to power, I multiply. 4 times 2 is 8, and 3 squared, that simplifies to 9x to the 8th. All right, now we're going to go ahead and do the first part of Chapter 8, Lesson 2, which is about multiplying and factoring. So this is going to kind of tie in where we do distributing and using our exponent rules. So let's remember distributing. When I distribute, I multiply that number on the outside to each term on the inside. So 3 times x is 3x, 3 times 1 is 3. Those are not like terms, so that would be it. And we're also going to use our multiplying same base. So I add the exponents, so 2 plus 3 would be x to the 5th. And we're going to put both of those together in the same problem. Remember, exponent properties and distributing properties to multiply a polynomial by a monomial. So we're going to take one term and we're going to multiply it into a polynomial, which is multiple terms. And remember, multiply that outside term to each term in the parentheses. So you'll see me drawing those arrows to show that I'm multiplying it times each term. All right, so here's our first one. Multiply x squared, and then here's your parenthesis, 2x cubed plus 3x squared plus 3. I'm going to take that x squared term on the outside and I'm going to multiply it times everything on the inside. So I'm going to do x squared times 2x cubed, x squared times 3x squared, and x squared times 3. And this is just like a 1x squared. So I do the operation on the number. So 1 times 2 is 2. X squared times x cubed. That's multiplying same base, so I add. 2 plus 3 is x to the 5th. 1x squared times 3x squared. 1 times 3 is 3. X squared times x squared. I add the exponents. 2 plus 2 is 4. And then 1x squared times 3. 1 times 3 is 3. X squared times no other x's is still x squared. And none of these are like terms because they all have different exponents, so I'm done. Another one. This is like a negative 1x cubed times 9x to the 4th times negative 2x squared plus 7. I distribute that through. Negative 1x cubed times 9x to the 4th. Well, negative 1 times 9, that's negative 9. X cubed times x to the 4th. 3 plus 4 is x to the 7th. And then multiply times the next term. Negative 1x cubed times negative 2x squared. Negative 1 times negative 2 is positive 2. X cubed times x squared, I add. 3 plus 2 is x to the 5th. And then negative 1x cubed times 7. Negative 1 times 7 is negative 7. X cubed times no other x's is x cubed. 7, 5, and 3, none of them are like terms. It's in standard form, so I'm done. All right, last one. 3x times 2x squared minus 5x plus 3. Now, this is like a 3x to the first power there, and this is like a 5x to the first power. So 3x times 2x squared, 3 times 2, that's 6. X to the first times x squared is x to the 1 plus 2, which is 3. 3x times negative 5x, well, 3 times negative 5, that's negative 15. X to the first times x to the first is x to the second. And then 3x times 3. 3 times 3, that's 9. X times no other x's, that's just x. 3, 2, 1, it's in standard form, so I'm done. All right, now I'm going to pass out a paper, and the last couple problems on there are going to be these two problems. I want you to try them by yourself.